The rejection happened during the Moon Festival. Maximum witnesses. Maximum humiliation. Sarah Winters? Ian's voice boomed across the ceremonial grounds. The moon goddess must be drunk. I deserve a warrior, not a mouse who can't even shift properly. 500 pack members laughed. Sarah stood there, silver dress now feeling like a target, as her fated mate publicly destroyed her. I, Ian Blackwood, reject you as my mate. Find someone more suited to your level. The bond snapped like a severed artery. Sarah didn't scream, didn't cry. She just walked away, silent as always, while the party continued without her. What Ian didn't know, what nobody knew, was that Sarah's silence wasn't weakness. It was a cage. Her grandmother had warned her before dying. Never let them see what you really are. The lunar bloodline skips generations, child. In you, it sleeps. Pray it never wakes. But trauma has a funny way of breaking cages. That night, alone in the forest, Sarah's suppressed power erupted. The transformation wasn't like normal shifting. Her bones didn't just break, they rebuilt into something ancient. Her eyes turned pure silver, reflecting constellations that hadn't been seen in centuries. When she finally stopped screaming, she wasn't just a wolf anymore. She was a lunar guardian, the kind that existed only in legends, the kind that could kill immortals. Perfect timing, really, because something was hunting the Blackwood pack. It started small: dead livestock, missing patrols. Then entire families vanished overnight, leaving only claw marks too large for any normal predator. "We need help," Ian announced at the emergency meeting. He looked exhausted, having lost 12 warriors already. "The council is sending specialists." The door exploded inward, not from force, from presence. Sarah walked in, but she didn't look like Sarah anymore. 6 months had passed since the rejection. 6 months of secret training with the Lunar Monastery, the hidden sect that had sensed her awakening. Gone was the small, quiet Omega. This woman radiated lethal grace. Silver markings traced her skin like living tattoos. Her hair, once brown and unremarkable, now held threads of moonlight. "The council didn't send specialists," she said, her voice carrying harmonics that made wolves submit instinctively. "They sent me." Ian's beta, Marcus, stepped forward. "Sarah? How?" "Guardian Winters," she corrected, "and you have a shadow maw problem." The room went cold. Shadow maws were myths, creatures that fed on wolf souls, growing stronger with each kill. Immune to normal attacks. The last one had taken 3 packs to bring down, 100 years ago. "That's impossible," Ian said, though his voice shook. Sarah pulled out a severed claw the size of a sword. Black blood still dripped from it. "I killed its scout an hour ago. The main one will come tonight." "You fought one alone?" someone gasped. "I've been fighting them for 6 months. Other packs, other territories." She set down a case of specialized weapons. "The lunar bloodline is the only thing that can truly kill them. Lucky for you, I'm here." Ian stood up, the mate bond trying desperately to reconnect. "Sarah, we need to talk." "No, we don't." She didn't even look at him. "I'm here for the pack. You're irrelevant to me." The words hit harder than any physical blow. His wolf howled in agony, recognizing its mistake too late. "Everyone needs silver core ammunition," she continued, ignoring his existence completely. "Regular wounds won't stop it. Marcus, you'll coordinate evacuations. Elders and pups to the underground bunkers." "Who put you in charge?" Ian demanded. Now she looked at him. The emptiness in her gaze was worse than hatred. "The council. The same one that will revoke your alpha status if you interfere with a guardian's mission. Your choice." He sat down, defeated. The quiet Omega he'd mocked now commanded his pack better than he ever had. As night fell, Sarah stood alone at the border. The pack watched from safe distances, awed and terrified by the transformation of someone they'd ignored for years. The temperature dropped. Shadows moved unnaturally. Then they saw it. The Shadow Maw stood 12 feet tall, its body a writhing mass of darkness and teeth. Eyes like burning voids locked onto the packed grounds. "Finally," Sarah whispered, her body beginning to glow. "I've been hunting you for weeks." The creature laughed, a sound that made wolves cower. "One little guardian? The last one took 20 to—" Sarah moved, faster than thought. Her claws, infused with lunar energy, tore through shadows like paper. The Shadow Maw screamed, actually wounded for the first time in centuries. "Impossible! You're just an Omega!" "Wrong," she smiled, savage and beautiful. "I was never just anything." The battle was unlike anything the pack had witnessed. Sarah didn't just fight, she danced with death, every movement lethal and precise. The Shadow Maw lunged, jaws wide enough to swallow 3 wolves. Sarah slid beneath it, dragging lunar-charged claws across its belly. Black blood hissed where it hit the soil. "You killed 12 of my pack members," she said, dodging another strike. Their names were David, Lisa, Marcus Jr., Helen. "Spare me the sentiment," it snarled, dissolving into shadow. Thomas, age 19, just found his mate. Twin lunar blades appeared in her hands. Jennifer, mother of 3. Each name sharpened her strikes. The pack realized she had memorized every victim. Ian watched uselessly. The girl he rejected as weak was now battling a nightmare single-handedly. The Shadow Maw lunged toward the watching wolves. Sarah intercepted, taking massive claws across her back. Blood soaked her shirt, but she didn't flinch. "Run!" Ian yelled. "No." Her voice carried authority that froze them in place. Running triggers its hunting instinct. Stand your ground. Silver markings on her skin ignited as she whispered ancient words. The Shadow Maw recoiled. "That technique died with my grandmother?" Sarah's form shifted into something half wolf, half divine. "She taught me before she died, before you killed her." The creature stiffened. "You're the granddaughter of Luna Regina? She sealed me for 50 years. And I'll do worse." Silver light erupted around her, forming a dome. "I'll end you." What followed wasn't a fight, it was an execution. Sarah moved through its defenses like smoke, each strike burning away centuries of darkness. But every blow cost her. The lunar bloodline demanded sacrifice, life force for death force. Her skin paled, her breathing thinned. She was burning years just to stay alive. "Stop!" Ian tried to run to her. Marcus held him back. "Interfere and you kill her." The Shadow Maw made a final desperate attack, forming a spear of pure darkness. It impaled Sarah's shoulder clean through. She didn't stop. "My turn." She seized the spear, dragged the monster close, and drove her blade into its core. Its death scream shattered glass miles away before the creature disintegrated into vapor. Sarah collapsed. Ian caught her, trembling. "Sarah, please, don't touch me." Even dying, her voice was ice. "You don't get to care now." "You're my mate." "Was." Blood spilled from her lips. "You ended that." The healer rushed in. "She's burning herself from the inside. The lunar bloodline is unstable." "Will she survive?" Ian demanded. "Maybe, if she chooses to fight." Sarah's voice cracked. "I have 3 more Shadow Maws to hunt. Death will have to wait." She was taken to the medical wing. Ian tried to follow. "Family only," the healer said. "I'm her mate." "No," Sarah whispered from the stretcher. "You're not. Never were." For 3 days, she hovered between life and death. Ian slept in the hallway, wrote letters she never read, prayed to a goddess that never answered. On day 4, she woke and immediately tried to leave. "You can't!" Ian blocked her path. "You almost died!" "Move, Ian, or I move you." "Sarah, please, let me apologize." She shoved him aside with one hand. The alpha hit the wall. "I rejected you because I was stupid," he said desperately. "Because I thought strength meant dominance. I was wrong." "Yes, you were." She kept walking. "I love you!" She stopped, turned. The pity in her eyes gutted him. "No, Ian. You love what I seem now. The power, the title, the legend." She stepped closer. "You had my love when I was nobody, and you threw it away." He swallowed. "People change." "Then prove it." She pulled out a contract. "A formal severance. Sign it. Free me completely, and maybe I'll believe you've changed." His wolf whimpered. Signing it would destroy him. "If I sign this," he whispered. "You'll suffer," she said, walking past him. "The way I did."
Ian signed the papers. The moment the ink touched parchment, agony ripped through him. His wolf thrashed, howling inside his skull as the mate bond dissolved, tearing chunks of his soul with it. Ian fell to his knees, choking on the pain. Sarah felt the severing too, but for her it wasn't pain. It was freedom. For weeks afterward, Ian barely functioned. His alpha strength faltered, his wolf went silent, and the pack whispered about choosing a new leader. He didn't defend himself, didn't care. He just carried the consequences of the arrogance that had once made him reject the girl he now finally understood. Sarah, meanwhile, hunted the remaining shadow maws with terrifying precision. Hacks across the continent spoke her name, the quiet Omega who fought like living moonfire. Ian watched every battle broadcast, not with desire, with regret, with understanding. He studied her footwork, her choices, the way she shielded civilians before striking back, the way she whispered every victim's name before killing the monsters responsible. He studied the woman he'd been too blind to see. Month 3. A shadow maw breached Blackwood territory. Ian evacuated the pack, then made the most reckless decision of his life. He faced the creature alone. He didn't stand a chance. It shredded him, broke him, dropped him to one knee again and again. Yet he kept rising, not to win, but to buy the pups time to escape, to do what Sarah would have done. Sarah arrived to find him standing between the monster and the children, barely breathing. She killed the shadow maw in seconds. "Why?" she demanded. Ian spat blood. "Because strength isn't power. It's sacrifice." She healed him, just enough to live. "Don't mistake this for forgiveness." "I don't want forgiveness," he whispered. "Only the right to keep learning who you really are." Something shifted in her gaze. A flicker, not love, but the beginning of respect. Month 6. 2 shadow maws ambushed Sarah. She won, but the lunar bloodline drained her nearly dry. Ian found her collapsed and carried her back to the pack hospital. When she woke, she didn't shove him away. "You've been following my hunts," she said quietly. "Someone should remember them," he replied. He set a journal beside her, filled with names, survivors' testimonies, accounts of every life she saved. That night, Sarah read every page and cried. Month 9. The final shadow maw wasn't mindless. It was ancient, strategic. "Kill me," it rasped, "and the lunar bloodline will take you with me. You have one fight left. Let me go, and you live." Sarah didn't blink. "I finish what my grandmother started." The creature smirked. "Ask your alpha. Would he save the world or save you?" Ian stepped forward before she could speak. She'd never trade innocent lives for her own. "I won't insult her by suggesting it." The shadow maw laughed. "The alpha who once rejected her
now praises her honor?
No, Ian said softly.
The fool she taught.
Sarah turned to him then, really looked. He'd lost weight. His eyes were tired, but something in him had changed, deeply, painfully, genuinely. Together, she said. Ian froze.
We're not bonded anymore.
Then we make a new bond, she said. Not destiny. Choice. She extended her hand. Partners? He took it. Power surged between them, different from a mate bond, a connection built on respect, pain, and growth. They fought the ancient Shadow Maw as one, her lunar fire guiding his strength, his shield protecting her heart. When the creature finally fell, both remained standing. Barely. As they limped home, Sarah said, "We're not mates."
I know.
We may never be.
I know.
But maybe something else. Ian nodded.
Whatever you choose.
Sarah didn't love him. Not yet. Maybe never. But she saw the truth. People could change. And sometimes, starting over didn't require fate. Just choice. If you believe redemption should be earned, comment, "Earn it." If you believe people can change, hit the like button. And for more powerful werewolf stories where actions matter more than words, subscribe.